Welcome to Dealer Synergy, award-winning training, consulting, and technology.
Hey everybody, my name is Sean V. Bradley. I'm the CEO of Dealer Synergy. I need to give you a little bit of my background and then I'll tell you why you're watching this video. I've been in the automotive internet sales arena for 14 years. Literally, I started on the showroom floor and within a couple weeks they stuck me in the internet department. When I worked at a Mazda dealership, I remember taking the internet leads off of faxes. People would go on the internet to Mazda, USA, and then they would submit an internet request, and I used to receive it through fax 14 years ago. So I've been doing automotive internet sales for 14 years. Now, over the 14 years, I learned a lot. I've had my company, Dealer Synergy, for 8 years. I've been the CEO of this company, and what I do is I build multi-million-dollar internet departments all over the country and overseas. Now, I've learned a lot over the years, and I want to share some of that insight with you. So now back to why you're watching this video. If you are watching this video, you probably are canceling a lead source provider. Now, I got to tell you, before you cancel your lead source provider, there's certain things that I would like to bring to your attention. First and foremost, an internet department, BDC, or even a dealership for that matter, is made or broken in 4 critical areas: your products, your people, your process, and your promotions. Now, before I break that down, I want to share with you again why you're watching this video. Again, sometimes people cancel, GMs, internet directors cancel lead source providers because they think the lead source providers stink or they're no good or the leads are garbage. Let me explain this to you. The average lead is anywhere from $20 to $22 per lead, approximately. And again, what do you expect for 20 bucks? A name, a phone number, an email address if you're lucky. It's an opportunity to do business, that's it. I don't know anybody out there that would turn around and turn me down if I said, listen, if I give you, if you give me 20 bucks today, I'll give you $2,000 at the end of the month. That's what you're doing. Even though if you buy 100 leads at 2Gs or 2,200 or whatever it is, and you sell, 10 cars, you can't turn around and say that it cost you $2,000 to sell those cars. That one lead that you sold was only $20. So I just want you to understand that they're not bad leads. They're not. They're just opportunities to do business. And here's some deeper insights. Back to the 4 Ps. It's not just about having leads. You have to have the proper, setup. Let's start with the lead management tool. You have to have a viable lead management tool or CRM. If you don't have a good lead management CRM, you're not going to be able to follow up with the leads, especially on a long-term basis, and it's just going to be a big cluster mess. Now, let's say you have a CRM and ILM. That's simply not enough. You need to make sure it's set up with the right templates, the right emails. I'll give you some numbers. As per J.D. Power, you have about an 11 to 14% connection ratio on the phones. The hardest part of the internet department is just getting somebody on the phones, right? So think about this. If you don't have a proper action plan cycle, for email and phone call, you might not be following up enough. Does that make sense? So it's not just having a good ILM or CRM, it's setting up the right way with the automated action plans, the email protocol, the phone call protocol. And then it's the content. If you are executing email templates and the emails are from 1963, hypothetically speaking, or if they're boring templates, if they don't make sense, of course people are not going to respond. Again, you need to have the righteous, content. You need to clearly articulate what is different and better about your organization than anybody else. That's very important. Now, let's say you have all that. It's still not enough. Let's go to the people. You need to have the right amount of people. You need to have the right structure. I'll give you an example. Prime time for most of the United States is between 6 and 8 p.m. to connect on the phones. So if you only have your internet or BDC, people making calls 9 to 5 or 9 to 6, you are missing prime time. That's like getting to the Super Bowl and saying, okay, thank you, I'll come back next year, without even playing. Or if you close at 7 o'clock, it's like, going to the Super Bowl and at halftime saying, okay, thank you very much, I'm out of here. You've got to have the proper schedule. You have to have the proper amount of people. You can't have, too many leads for a person. And you need to have a strategy of how you're going to execute. There's different models. You could have the one-man show, you could have dedicated internet sales consultants, you could have the air traffic control coordinator, or you could have a full-blown BDC. But it has to be mapped out and it has to make sense. It has to correlate the amount of leads versus the right amount of people with the right schedule. Now, going a little deeper, you also have to motivate people the right way. That's a whole other subject with the pay plans. Now, for process, you need to have the proper outbound phone call process, inbound phone call process, outbound email process, inbound email process. You need to be able to understand people's expectations and objections, be able to meet them and exceed them. I'll give you an example. We all feel that, I'm gonna just assume for everybody, that we want to exceed a prospect's expectations. Right or wrong? I'm gonna say right. Now, if that's the case, how can we ever exceed something if we don't do two things beforehand? Understand what their wants, wishes, and expectations are, and then meet them, and then and only then can we exceed them. Follow me on this. Only 20% of people are solely price motivated. That is a fact. Now, don't get me wrong, maybe 80 or 100% of people are gonna ask you for the bottom line price or a price quote, but when the dust settles, only 20% of people are solely price motivated. But if we just assume everybody's a price shopper, nobody's gonna turn around and buy from you unless you give them the bottom line invoice minus holdback, you're never gonna be able to sell cars, you're never gonna be able to make money, and most importantly, if you just focus on price, you're not gonna identify the real scenario. And we all know, this is a fact from NADA, that over 55% of people that leave your dealership can turn around and go and buy a vehicle elsewhere for the same price or more expensive. Why? Because they got something they didn't get at your dealership. Again, so it's not just the leads. I'm gonna take it back. Before you cancel your lead source provider, do a health check. Are your 4 Ps in order? Do you have your products, your people, your process, your promotions in order? If not, then do me a favor, give me a call. Again, for free, I will give you a strategy session. You can call me directly on my cell, area code 267-319-6776. Or you could go to automotiveinternetsales.com, message me there. My email address is sean@dealersynergy.com. I've been doing this for 14 years. I've taken dealerships from doing 0 to 50 net increase internet deals, from 30, 40 to over 100, 200 units a month on the internet. I've spoken to 75 NADA and NCM 20 groups, an NADA convention speaker, a JD Power Internet Roundtable speaker. I write for 13 different national magazines. I'm in the NSA, I'm a certified Franklin Covey trainer. The reason why I'm sharing this with you, again, is not to impress you at all, it's to impress upon you I know what I'm talking about. So again, before you decide to cancel your lead source provider, you need to make sure that you put everything in check, because here's a couple other things. If you cancel your lead source provider, do you think those leads just magically go away? You're allowing your competitors potentially to buy your leads, especially in your PMA and your primary market area. You don't want to do that. The rules of engagement are this: you want to secure your primary market area. You want to be able to have the leads that should be rightfully yours. And on top of that, you want to conquest your competitors' leads. If you decide to cancel your lead source providers because things are not working, you're losing opportunity. Now, I'm going to appeal to the logic economically, your ROI. We talk about this, but I'm going to keep it real with you. This is an NADA speaker speaking right now. As per NADA, 2011, the average cost per sale in advertisement is literally $600 per car. You follow me? $600 per car. NCM says it's about $400 per car. The average cost per sale for an internet opportunity, let's say from AutoBytel, a third-party provider, is about $200 a car. I mean, you're saving literally a tremendous amount of money. Tremendous. You could knock $300, $400 off your average cost per sale. Sean, how does that work? Simply, if you buy hypothetically 100 leads at 2Gs at a 10% closing ratio, average cost per sale is $200 per car. And again, it's completely transparent. When you're looking at radio, TV, and print, these are intrusive advertising where and when people don't want to be bothered. You're throwing stuff against the wall and hoping that it sticks. And I'm not saying it's bad, but putting first things first, the most righteous leads are when people are proactively going on to like autobytel.com and submitting an internet purchase request. I mean, that's a direct audience. And folks, this is not just me talking, this is JD Power, this is NADA. Over 92% of Americans go online before they step foot into the dealership. Fact, okay? Now this is from Google information. Over 80% of all transactions originate on search, from a $1 to a jet engine plane. Again, this internet is powerful. What you want to be able to do, again, is maximize your internet department. Again, if you have any questions, my name is Sean V. Bradley. And again, I'm here to help any way I can. Thank you.